Hey, what is up, everybody? We are back. I'm ZeldaMariners, here with Tito7177 like usual. But
Hello.
unlike usual, today we have a special guest, our friend Monday.
Hello, Internet.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you. Yeah. We had to get you on some point.
Yeah.
Have you been listening?
Have you been listening?
Look, man,
I don't think I've been listening.
I'm one of those essential workers, so
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I
On your
don't
commute,
have
you could stick us in.
time to like listen. So
That's fine. Oh yeah, Monday's an essential worker. He's
Yeah.
special.
Yep.
I mean, Danilo's
I'm-
an essential worker too.
yeah, but he's more essential than I am. He's saving lives.
I mean, you're more essential than I am because I'm not working.
That's true.
And rock, paper, scissors.
Rock.
Lizard Spock.
Good. That's a good reference. So, as you can tell, this is being recorded at a very ungodly hour for everyone involved. Mainly because I was at work until like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Woo!
So, it's almost like, what, 2, almost 3 o'clock here, almost.
Yeah,
I
don't
guess midnight
Yeah, we got about.
back in Seattle.
It's only 11:41 p.m. in the Seattle area right now.
roughly 11:41.
Roughly. That's all right. You can sleep when you're
So-
dead.
I want to start off before we get too deep into it by saying there is a spider somewhere in my room, and I don't know where it is. So if I seem distracted at all during this podcast, it's because I'm looking for the fucker.
How big is that spider?
You know those like contact lens cases?
Yeah.
You know how each one of those is like the size of a quarter? It's about that size.
Oh.
Like in width?
Are we talking with legs or without legs?
I think that's including the legs.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Without legs? Holy fuck.
I mean,
Yeah, what kind of...
I'm not in Australia, I'm in Seattle.
hey, we got killer bees now in Seattle. Who knows
No.
what's next?
They're not killer bees, they're killer hornets. And they kill bees.
Well, okay, fair enough. But you see what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, on one of the other podcasts, I showed Ryan this video of these bees killing a killer hornet using heat. So they were basically grinding up against a hornet to kill it.
Yeah.
Because it invaded their home. It's like, oh, hold hands, guys. Let's rub
Kumbaya.
up against this hornet.
My lord.
Yeah, dude. It looked like the heat signature on that was pretty impressive for what they were trying to do.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, pretty warm.
nice.
Yeah.
So when you say kill it
who
with
thought it?
fire,
He
the honeybees
nature.
were like, yeah,
Yeah, basically.
hold my nectar.
Oh,
B used hug. It was hella effective.
it would be hella effective.
It would be.
Bee.
Oh man.
All right, Beedrill needs to have like a move called Hug in the next Pokemon game. That's all I'm saying.
Beedrill just wants love. And
But it's only good against a hornet Pokemon. It's not good against anything else.
yeah, it's
that'd
super
be so.
effective.
It's like how
Only
psychic
against-
Pokemon were weak against psychic Pokemon. I was like, what the
I-
fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah,
It's like they're like dumb against themselves. But dude, psychic Pokemon were like the most badass ones in the entire game.
Except there are only like 3 good ones.
That's true.
Are they
Which
all?
were which were those 3 for you?
Abracadabra and Alakazam.
Yeah.
No, it's
Those the three
because
evolutions.
I liked the psychic ghost of like Gengar. Gengar was like the
Yeah.
best for me.
I've only used Gengar probably twice because I think it was a Pokemon you had to like trade up for, right?
Yes, I think you're right.
Yeah, I think you did have to trade to get Gengar. It was like
It's same with
Alakazam.
Alakazam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, the
I
thing
never
with
underst-
me was like
I
with
never understood
psychic.
that.
It's like once you get Mewtwo, it's like what's the point in trying any other psychic Pokemon?
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I always thought Psychic was like probably the most effective class out of Pokemon in the OG gens. But then I felt like dragons were the coolest looking ones.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
So I ended up using lances, like, line up a lot when I had my own set.
Oh, I always like split them up. Like I tried to get like a mix.
Yeah, I would end up just doing like Ash's team, even in like blue version. I would like try to get Charmander, Bulbasaur.
You just like trade with your friends.
Yeah, it was like with my cousins. Like we would get like the actual like Game Link cable, and
I still have one of those somewhere.
Game Link cable. Oh my goodness.
Or back before they had like back before they had like near field communications.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, it wasn't until like Diamond and Pearl in which I then started trading Pokemon over the internet, and I was like, oh, this is way more convenient. People are like trading like level 100 Pokemon because they all cheated.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I might as well trade this out. And then I ended up finding like, oh wait, these Pokemon are way weaker because they all receive like rare candies to get to this point.
Rare candy leveled up Pokemon are hella weak.
Yeah, dude, they're jacked.
But we all did the trick.
I know.
Like, I wanted 99 Master Balls. Gimme.
I know. Yep, it's true. Game Sharks are a real deal back in the day.
Well, that wasn't even like a Game Shark. That was just the like missing no glitch.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because it was just like a duplication glitch.
Oh, I could say I never did that.
Oh man, missed out.
Yeah, well.
I also remember getting a Mew, not through a Game Shark. It was also a glitch in the game that you could get a Mew.
Yeah, that was a glitch that a lot of people exploited, though. Like, it was like the only way to get a Mew, and everyone did it.
It was.
Well, through like the SSN.
Was it the SSN?
That
sounds
so long ago, but it does sound.
Whereas, like,
it was something it was something with the bridge of people above Cerulean City, and then you had to like fly somewhere right as someone saw you.
Yeah,
and so it would initiate a battle sequence, but then you'd fly to a town center, and it'd get like confused because you're at a town center, so you shouldn't be in a battle sequence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then when you like exited the city or something, you went into the battle with Mew.
Yeah, there was some sort of...
That's hella specific.
Yeah, there was.
Could you imagine a programmer
so weird
making that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's like, how do you find that? Is the thing. Like,
I think it's just word of mouth.
I don't
Because I remember in the 90s, it's like people just told each other.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing with glitches is like one person like somehow does something and is like, wait, what the fuck did I just do? And then they backtrack it and they're like, oh, it works.
You know what? You know what? It's probably one
of
those,
you
like,
backtrack that, though?
Probably fucked that up.
I don't know. You just have to be good at remembering what you do, I guess.
I don't know, man. That was before the internet. Like, we could go, oh, how do I get this secret? Let me just search that real quickly.
Or like, like how the Switch has like the capture button, so you can like hold it and record the last 30 seconds, and you're like, oh, that's what I did.
Yeah, that's the neat feature. Like I know the PS4 has a feature like that. I don't know if the Xbox does. I'm pretty sure it does, but I don't use an Xbox One, so I don't know.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, we're mainly Nintendo and Sony fanboys over here.
I mean, I had an Xbox.
Well, I had an Xbox 360. I mean,
what happened to it?
You eventually got that bad boy.
and then it red ringed on me.
Yeah, what a big surprise, right? No, I had to get an Xbox 360. Gotta get that Halo 3 going, man.
Dude, yeah.
True.
Halo 3 is probably the first time I started playing like online, like competitive games with Chad.
Yeah, I never really got in the online competitive area personally, at least not until I was probably in my early 20s, just because I didn't really, I don't know, with my parents, they weren't like, oh, we don't want to use the internet for this, because like my mom worked at home and everything, and that kind of stuff, and they were all worried it was going to make some sort of issue with, you know, my mom working at home was like, oh no, it's going to get a virus, it's going to do this, it's going to do that, and I'm like, no it's not, but I live in your house, so I got to follow your rules, this sucks.
Jesus.
So I just played those single player games like Grand Theft Auto and all that stuff, and then of course Grand Theft Auto eventually became online without mods. So,
dude, that game, yeah, dude, GTA Online became probably one of the, I don't know, biggest bestsellers by itself.
oh yeah,
Outside of the game, like, it's crazy how much that, not only that world, but the entire culture behind it has like exploded in the last like, what's it, 6-7 years now?
well, I mean, remember back in I think Grand Theft Auto 3, that was the first one that was a third person compared to the previous iterations, which were a top-down style view.
Yeah.
And then you had a silent protagonist, and I use the word protagonist loosely, mind you, because it is Grand Theft Auto after all. But a silent character, and then Vice City's, in my opinion, is where it really took off. And then it's like, oh, they can't do anything better. And then San Andreas came out, and I think I've 100% that game like probably 10 times. Like I did everything, all the hidden package stuff, everything I could do in that game. I did everything, and when I heard about Grand Theft Auto 4, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be so awesome. And then I remember how much Grand Theft Auto 4 was a piece of trash. Like that game was awful.
Yeah, it was rough. I mean, I liked the graphics were like amazing.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah, of course.
The way it controlled, like the cars were boats.
Oh, the cars were boats. Yes, the boats handled
the boats
better
were
than
worse
cars.
boats.
It was
boats were
so
worse.
bad.
like I don't think I ever got through a mission, like a car mission, like without crashing my car.
No,
like horribly.
And you can't, because I mean they went for a more realistic aspect compared to like San Andreas, which people were kind of asking for, myself included, but they went too far. They made it way too realistic. Like if
it was the Arma of GTA's.
Well, what happens if you get, I'm not sure if you know this, but when you got on a car, whether it was one you would, do Grand Theft Auto on, or it was one that you personally had, and you hit that accelerator as soon as you could, your character didn't buckle in. So if you ever hit anything too hard, you would fly through the windshield.
Yeah. The first 10 times, it's hilarious.
Oh, of course not. It's GTA. No one wears seatbelts.
Yeah, the first 10 times, it's hilarious. The next 100 million times, it's annoying as shit.
So annoying, because you never think about it. Because like in every other Grand Theft Auto game, it was like, I don't need to worry about it. Seatbelt, psh, whatever. I don't use that in real life anyways.
Yep.
I kid. I do. Safety
Click
first,
it or
kids.
ticket, you nerds.
Actually, in my state here, like it's a secondary offense.
Is it really?
So they have to stop you for a primary reason for you to then get a ticket for not
Hi,
wearing
you
your
were
seatbelt.
driving 36 and a 35. Also, your seatbelt wasn't buckled.
Guess it'll depend on how anal the cop is.
Yeah, all right. I always find it funny when people are like, if you get pulled over, put your goddamn seatbelt on.
Or,
It's like,
when you get in your car, put your goddamn seatbelt on.
well, it's funny because, like, how the fuck did you get a ticket for not wearing a seatbelt?
I mean, I
you
think they
sitting
can
at a
see
stoplight?
you putting it on as they're approaching the car, so they're like, yeah, I saw you, putting on the seatbelt.
I can neither confirm nor deny that, Mr. Officer.
That's fair.
Or Madam Officer.
That's fair.
I mean, okay, so, whoa, God, what were those? I forget what they were, but it was like World's Dumbest. Those TV shows, those reality TV shows back on like VH1 and other random reality
Back
TV
in the day
shows.
before YouTube made those compilations.
Yeah, right, crazy times. And there was one where a cop pulled, I don't know, someone over, and what happened was, police vehicles, they have those cameras on their dashboards, and I don't know why I recall this specific one, but what happened was the driver and the passenger, they swapped seats, but the camera caught it. Like, they saw,
Of course.
Yeah. So, the officer's, trying to say, hey, I saw you guys swap seats. I got it on camera and everything. I need to talk to the person actually driving and everything.
We're like, I don't know what to talk about.
Forever, they, fought, oh, we didn't switch seats. No, because the person who was driving, who got pulled over, had, a suspended license or something, or didn't have a license
Nice.
at all. So, yeah, it was so stupid. I'm like,
Did the other person... It would have been really funny if the other person, didn't have a license. They were too young or something. And it's like, you get in trouble.
Yeah, I don't even recall that. All I recall is them swapping seats. I can visually remember it, in my head right now. I'm like, this is so stupid. I can remember the officer's voice, because it was just it was pure, This is how my day's gonna go. All right.
He's like, this was my first stop of the day. God.
Here we go.
It's one of those days, man. It's one of those days.
Oh man. So many, and then nowadays though, I mean, everyone's got cameras. Like anything you do out in public, it's being recorded.
Oh yeah, just assume that you're always on camera.
Yeah, like when I deliver packages, even if I don't see a camera, like I'm like, oh well, there's probably a camera around here somewhere. You know, so it's like, well.
Oh man, yeah. I'm lucky. Sorry, not Delaware. Delaware has cameras, but Pennsylvania does not. It's kind of nice.
Really?
They don't have to deal with it. Yeah, they don't have cameras. They passed a law saying that it was like they couldn't make it offensible if you were caught by a camera, so they stopped using it. Delaware, however, still fines you like hella if you're going too quick. Like even near my work right now, like I take a left turn and sometimes it'll flash, but because it was trying to catch the dude like next to me who was like a little past the red line, thinking that he went. So. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple intersections up here in Kent specifically where they installed the cameras and everything for running red lights.
Yeah, they did start doing that.
And they have still not got them 100% accurate. Like I'm in a red light.
Oh
and
yeah.
I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, I will see the flash in my rearview mirror go off, and we're all at the red light and no one's moving.
Right. I've seen the one on 104th in Kent Kangley. I've seen that one go off when people are turning left on a green light.
Yep.
And
That's
I'm like,
happened to me.
What is wrong with this camera?
That's happened to me.
Oh, yeah, because it's this thing where it thinks while you're going left, you're passing the line. If someone's going straight, it's catching that red. And they're trying to use the same camera for both, which is really dumb.
Yes, that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Alright, this is super random, but I have a would you rather.
Oh, goodness. Here we go.
Would you rather drive a car or would you rather drive a boat? I know my answer.
What if the boat drives like a worse boat? No. This would you rather is... It's so dumb. Would you rather be a reverse centaur, so like top half horse, bottom half person, or reverse mermaid, top half fish, bottom half person?
What? I think
this image too is so funny.
It's pretty much asking would I rather have a face of a horse or a face of a fish. I mean, that's pretty much.
I have to show you guys the picture too. This is the picture. The reverse centaur. You have 6 limbs. Why?
I think I'd rather be a reverse centaur. Only because if I'm a reverse fish, it then implies that I then have to live in the ocean.
Yeah, that's true, because you got the gills.
And then I feel like a bigger fish, like in Star Wars Episode 1, would eat me.
Because
I look like
always bigger. Oh, dang it!
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I steal your thunder there? My bad. We can go back in time by 10 seconds. You can do it.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks,
There's always a bigger fish.
Oh man, Qui-Gon, way to go!
Who?
Pretty good. Also, is that reverse centaur wearing basketball shoes?
I believe so. But that also gives me another question: how do you run as a reverse centaur? Because
I think you just
horses
run
faster than people, and people don't run at bent 90-degree angles.
Oh.
So, like, the front half is going to run super well, and the back half is just going to be, like, dragging on the ground.
Yeah, I don't...
Part of me thinks you're still going to be bipedal.
Yeah, because this picture of the horse... the front legs are not anywhere near the girth of the arms of the human.
How small is that top half horse if it fits on a human neck?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think you still are going to be bipedal.
Yeah, okay, I like that. And actually, based on this, I would definitely be a reverse centaur. Because
Oh, yeah.
You can function pretty well like that, I think.
You're basically a Machamp. The horse head.
This is
You're
my
like-
final form.
You're like as if you like a Machoke and a Ponyta fucked. You get
If
this.
someone
my
tried to
God.
might you could just horse hoof them in the
Oh.
face.
They'd be screwed. Yeah.
You'd be like,
you might as well call this a Brostang.
oh, bro.
Because it's a Mustang and it's a bro and a Mustang. It's a Brostang.
God. So stupid.
Could you imagine if that was your high school mascot? Yeah, we're the
Brostangs.
Brostangs.
Yeah, we're the Centennial High
Go
School
Brostangs.
Brostangs.
It's Centennial High School. We're only good at track and field and basketball. Can't catch for shit. Look at my stubby arms.
Petey,
I gotta-
hold on to the
I
ball,
gotta catch with
Petey.
hooves.
What if you galloped with your hands and feet, but the horse feet did nothing?
I mean, they almost don't do anything based off his
I mean,
picture.
at this point, yeah, especially if you're bipedal, what does that do for it? Only gets in the way.
Yeah, I feel like it looks like his neck is trying to give birth to a horse.
It really does. And that
I got
half
I got a Mustang
fish,
tumor.
Ugh, that half fish person looks so awful.
I mean,
They
that's
look-
what happens when you reverse mermaid. I think they
No,
don't
no.
have enough fish on that. I feel like the
Yeah.
fish needs to go to the belly button.
Yeah, well, the thing is, first of all, they look like they're bulimic.
It looks like the witch from Left 4 Dead.
It does.
It really does. Skinny, malnourished. Ugh.
It's probably crying in fish, so it's like,
Yeah, so it sounds like every other fish.
no, it's sadder than
Something-
every other fish.
No.
You're so insensitive to fish.
Yes. I'm so insensitive.
They all look
to
the same.
fish. You know, I mean, they don't taste the same. I know that much.
Reverse mermaid lives matter.
Lives matter.
That's offensive to people who know reverse mermaid as a sex position.
Oh no.
Whoa.
I don't want to know
This
what
took a
that looks
turn.
like.
It's like a play on joke from this episode of I think season 1 of Community, where
It would be.
where
Still
yeah, I know, right? Oh, we gotta watch it. It's on Netflix now. It's
So is
great.
Avatar.
Where
Okay.
I'm about to watch that too. Where Annie, one of the who's played by Alison Brie,
Yep.
says is doing this extra credit thing where that she's been having a Dia de los Muertos. This is the Day of the Dead party, and she calls it. It's like, yeah, it's like Mexican Halloween. And then Mr. Senior Chang, who's played by Ken Jeong, is like, that's offensive
Yeah.
to those who
Yeah.
know Mexican Halloween
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
as a
Mexican
sexual position.
Halloween.
And all you see is Donald Glover in the classroom just nodding his head in agreement.
Sounds like
Nice.
Donald Glover.
Such a great scene. Oh man. So yeah, I would definitely pick the horse in this instance.
Yeah,
That one is
I would too.
upon close inspection of that stupid picture.
Just first of all, only based off of these two images,
Oh, yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's
Easy.
it's the half horse, half man for sure.
Yeah, I bet I could get a date as a half horse man
Probably.
than a fish. I don't think girls like fish.
Probably not as much as
brings a whole new
horses.
It's a higher-
brings a whole new meaning to plenty of fish in the sea. Am I right?
I'll be your
Oh,
little
yeah, it's like-
pony.
What if you could you imagine being a fish on Plenty of Fish?
Jeez. Plenty of fish. I guarantee you I'm the only fish on this website.
The only fish.
Only.
God, and plus, at least we could do the meme with the GIF
The
with
horse
the
head.
horse eating Cheetos.
Good, I gotta put that on the screen for people.
Great.
Don't think I don't have that
I-
ready.
No,
Whoop.
of course not.
Dude, I swear that I was like, that's probably one of the first like. Jesus, there it is. I like the fucking finger the whole time. It looks like a tongue.
I love it. I love it so much.
It's so stupid.
I love
it's
it.
so great.
But it all started Monday for Daniil and I. It all started with this GIF.
Oh, the ghost. The ghost.
The ghost. Yes, the ghost.
I like the fact that they make it all creepy, and all of a sudden this fucking dude
With a sheet over his head just flailing.
yeah.
Wasn't it? Didn't you show that to us, Danilo, at one point? I think you're the one who introduced us to that video, and it was just one of those things where it's like real ghost sighting, and you sent a link to us. And
oh yeah, it had like the
group. Yeah, it was like design the X-Files theme.
Oh yeah, X-Files. That's what that was. Yeah,
it was just the.
It was just a guy running through a field.
So stupid. But it was so funny. Oh god, I remember like crying because I was laughing so hard.
It's fucking classic, man.
Dude, it's good.
Dude, that's classic YouTube.
Old school YouTube is so great. I miss it.
Yeah. I miss Vines too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Daniil and I talked about that too.
Yeah, Vines are great, man. I felt like Vines told a pretty solid story depending on the content creator, and I could never get tired of watching them.
Free Shavakadu.
Or
Free Shavakadu.
Oh yeah, and then like
one of the best ones. One of the best ones. All it takes is 5 seconds for that freaking that clip. That's it.
I mean, that's
Free
fine,
Shavakadu.
They got Free Shavakadu.
Jesus.
Oh man.
Anyone who hasn't seen that, they need to go watch that right now.
I'll put it up. I'll put it up.
Somewhere
I'll put
else.
it up.
Okay.
They'll
okay.
see it.
All right.
If you're watching this on YouTube, I got you right now. And for those of you that don't, you can see us on YouTube at youtube.com/superbetabros.
Oh man. I mean, friggin' TikTok videos are pretty much the new Vine.
Yeah.
But I mean, I only know that because I know people who use TikTok. I don't use TikTok. I'm too old to use TikTok personally.
That's how you get on lists using TikTok.
Yeah, Chinese lists because they steal your information.
True.
Well, we're not going there. We're not going there.
Would you rather?
It's the dark web. We don't go there.
Would you rather have to read every word that you read out loud, or sing everything that you say out loud?
Oh, sing. Absolutely sing.
I'd probably sing it. That sounds like fun.
I mean, at first approach, just thinking about it, like, I would just, I don't care if I can sing or not. I think it'd be fun to do so. Maybe after a while, I get sick and tired of it.
I think it would just be exhausting, because every word that you just happen to read, you'd like be in the middle of a conversation and you'd be like, "Bye now." What? Oh, sorry, I saw something.
That's true. You'd be mid conversation with somebody, like on the phone or in person or whatever, and you'd see something like a text message pops up on your phone. You have to read it out loud as you're talking to somebody in person.
Hey, baby, that rash is back. Oh shit! Sorry, guys. I'll read this later.
Awkward. You learn to ignore your phone the entire day until you get off of work or something.
Right. Oh my gosh, what if you worked at like a really
man.
quiet office and then someone sent like this memo and you're just reading this memo out loud?
That would be awful. Hysterical, but awful.
These are too easy.
Dude,
I need to to pre-read these before I read them for you.
Remember in 4th grade, or even like in like elementary school when
I
they would
thought you were
make
just
you
gonna
read
stop
a
at that.
passage?
Remember in 4th grade? Just like, yeah, just
stop
that was the question.
When you guys were in 4th grade, I was in junior high.
Look,
so old.
Look. Remember when you were in 4th grade?
Yeah, I do actually. What about it?
What was your teacher's name?
Miss Saunders.
Uh,
red curly hair, kind of older, probably in her 50s.
Maybe
late 40s.
Do you remember the kind of math you were learning in 4th grade? Was 4th grade when we had that huge, stupid sheet of multiplication that you had to do in 2 minutes?
I don't remember that, but I remember the Wassel.
Oh, the Wassel.
Oh, the waffle test.
The Wassel. I remember that.
Wassel, 4th, 7th, and 10th grade.
Dude. What a throwback.
Washington Assessment of Student Learning,
yes,
I believe
that is exactly what it was.
Which, mind you, no longer exists anymore.
Which is a shame because they still have standardized tests, and now we can't have the cool Wassel waffles.
It's true.
So, rip on the kids. No waffles for you.
God, the Wassel. What a joke that was, too, anyways. Standardized testing is kind of a joke, in my opinion.
The only one that I think I would probably put, like, any investment into would probably be, like, maybe the SATs, and that's a hard maybe.
Yeah, but even then, like, you're testing how well someone does in a testing environment, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think it shouldn't be that much of a determining factor than it is, like, a leg up if they did okay on it. Because, I mean, the only thing I could see that being beneficial in a collegiate atmosphere would be the fact that you'd take a hell of amount of tests at the college, so it would indicate at least that they would do well on those. But as an overall sort of person, I wouldn't put much stock into it.
It's just hard to like find a thing to, because you have to like somehow know that people are learning, but there's no one good way to do that encompasses everybody.
No, there isn't. That's one of the reasons I just dislike standardized tests. Is every one person out there has a different way of learning and has their own speed of learning. Like whether it's because they have an actual disability or because they just can't grasp certain concepts over other concepts. Like some people just pick up different types of math more efficiently than others.
Yeah.
You know, other people have a much more difficult time grasping that concept.
Well, and I think not only that, but being able to show that you understand it, I think, is different for people too.
That's also very true. Yeah, because especially people who just bomb tests. There are people out there who just are awful at tests.
Right.
Because they get stressed out too much. They overthink it.
Yep.
You know, whatever it is, they just have a difficult time with tests. And when you give them a standardized test to figure out where they're at, they may be way beyond what their test results are.
Yep.
So it's difficult to judge that that person, that individual based off of standardized test.
And I think it'd be hard for that person to prove yes, I understand it. I just am terrible at test taking.
Well, yeah, especially for like a 4th grader or even a 7th grader or even a 10th grader. You know, when we had those Wassel tests, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, you're a 4th grader, you're a child, you don't know enough yet, you're too young, you have to still go through things and understand things. You know, same excuse to be done for 7th grade. Oh, you're evolving as an individual. You know, things are different for you right now.
7th grade is the worst time to test anybody on anything.
Oh, yeah, no shit, right?
You know those hormones you got going on? Yeah, here's a test.
Yeah.
Deal with them now.
Yeah, good luck. Standardized tests, man. I was that guy that just, I hated them. Couldn't stand them. I wasn't bad at them, just hated them. Hated tests, never liked them. You know, there was only one test I actually ever enjoyed, and that was my midterm in my geometry class my sophomore year. And I got 19 out of 20 because it was multiple choice, but it would still show your work multiple choice. So it's like I'm not, because we were using those Scantrons. Remember those Scantrons?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like, you had 5 answers, and if you didn't erase your answer well enough, it would still think that was the answer you put down.
That.
So
and then you get like C 3 times in a row, and you're like, fuck.
Yep. That happened to me on the midterm, and I erased the question or the answer the first time and filled in the correct answer. And I went up to my teacher and I'm like, "Hey, I actually got this question right. I'd really like to have a perfect score on my midterm. I'm not trying to be that guy, but it'd be really nice to show that I actually got a perfect score on my midterm, to my parents, to show that I'm actually like doing well in school. And he did not want to do it. He did not want to give me.
Well, I feel like as the
score.
teacher, you're like, you just did that right now. Like.
That's true. But I was a good student in that class. It's not like I was ever like misbehaving or anything. So I don't feel as if like I deserved to that kind of like. I don't want to like. He didn't say I'm not going to do it. He just kind of like said, "Oh, okay," and then went to another student and took care of their problem. And I had to like ask him like 3 times during the class period, "Hey, am I going to get the perfect score or am I not going to get the perfect score?" Right. And eventually he just went in the system and just changed it. He didn't even do anything on the Scantron. He just went in the computer system and took care of it. I'm like, "All right, well, thanks. I guess that works."
Dang.
Ooh.
Only perfect midterm I ever did. So, I really wanted it. Thanks. It was geometry, though. Like, I mean...
Oh, I don't think I even got a perfect score in anything in geometry.
Dude, geometry was so much easier for me. Like, it's funny, because you talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people go, "Oh, algebra was so hard, but geometry was so easy," or it's the other way around.
Yeah, I feel like
algebra was super easy, but geometry was super hard.
I feel like people only like one of the two.
Mm-hmm. I love geometry personally.
I hated geometry.
Yep, I know you do. Yeah. I know. We've had this conversation
algebra,
before.
baby.
Yeah, I know you algae.
Did you like proofs at all in geometry?
I can't really recollect what proofs are. I'm not gonna lie.
They were the worst because I would do something and I'd be like, "Does that prove it? I don't know. I got to the answer thing that you wanted," and they're like, "That doesn't prove that you did." I'm like, "Fuck you."
Oh, that's what you mean by proofs. Oh, so I don't.
Where you do like proof by whatever.
So I had
5 lines.
I had 2 different teachers for geometry. I had for 2 different semesters. I had one teacher the first semester who taught like he was a grade school teacher, and then I had an actual the second semester where I got the perfect score on the midterm. He actually treated us like young adults, so I did a lot better in that class. And I think it was his like because I went from one bad teacher to a really good teacher in that kind of circumstance, and I feel that's why I did better. Not maybe so much the material that I was learning, but the way the teacher handled his teaching method compared to my previous teacher.
Nice.
So that might be why.
Did you have Sturt? Or who did you have?
So I had Mr. Newman.
The first time.
And I had him for 2 classes. I had him both for geometry and for biology.
What? That's such a random thing to also teach.
Yeah, I don't know why he was teaching both of these classes. While I disliked him and I thought he was a freaking like pedophile, honestly.
Whoa.
Like the way he stared at some of the girls in classes was just messed up.
Creepy,
yeah. So
Whoa.
It was. When I say pedophile,
I mean
like pedophile of someone who's going for someone who's like 16 or 17, not pedophile of someone who's going for like a baby. Is there a term for someone who's going for someone just like barely underage?
Yeah, it's called a pedophile.
Okay. I thought so. I just wasn't sure if there was something for like super young. And
I'm too distracted by the spider.
Oh, well, that's all right. I'll continue my story. But
yeah, fuck you. I'm gonna keep talking.
Now they look like a dumbass. He stared at some of these, 16, 17-year-old, girls in my class, like, way too much. Like, it was just eerie, it was awkward, and I couldn't stand him for it. Like, I talked to my counselor about it, and he'd be like, well, we'll keep an eye on them. If anyone comes forward about something or whatever, we'll make note of it. And nothing ever happened. And I know other other students went to different counselors about it, and I'm not sure whatever happened. Anyways, I had him for the first semester of geometry. I passed with a C. It's like, whatever, I passed. I don't care. Guy's a crap teacher. Don't like him. Moving on. Then I went to what was his name? DeGalt? Something like that.
DeGaulle sounds familiar.
Gall. I know Gall was a teacher. He was a history teacher.
Oh, maybe that's.
He was a redhead. No, DeBolt. That was his name, DeBolt. Mr. DeBolt, and I think he was only there actually my sophomore year. He went somewhere else later on. So he was gone by the time you guys came at the Kent Lake.
Wait, DeBolt. Wait, hold
makes
on.
sense.
Yeah.
I think that's one of my mom's coworkers' husbands. Like not joking, because he was a math teacher.
Yeah, he was a math teacher.
Yeah. That's I didn't know he taught at Kent Lake, but that could be.
Yeah, he taught at Kent Lake.
Could be the same DeBolt, because that's not a very common last name.
Yeah, that's not a very common last name. I don't think I've ever seen another DeBolt anywhere personally.
I've seen the Usain Bolt.
A little different. little different.
Bolt.
What if Usain Bolt was your math teacher?
That would be very interesting.
What if you could do math really fast?
I knew that was where this was going
It's
to
like
go.
He's like one of those human calculators.
What he does is when he shows you the problem on a whiteboard in the front of the screen or whatever, he just writes it down super fast, and it's just you can't even read it.
But then you also go up to him and be like,
The problem is,
Mr. DeBolt, what's 5,428 times 6,763? And he's like, oh yeah, it's 36,709,564. And you're like, whoa.
Whoa.
but the thing is, if you had Bolt do your math, he'd only do speed problems, with speed word problems. If train left station A at this time, it's train B.
If I left the station at 4:30 in the morning.
What is the integral of said speed at which they will then intersect?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that would definitely be a very very Usain Bolt to teaching method of a word problem for sure for math.
Yes.
That just seems
He's
if
the fastest American runner can run 100 meters in.
Yeah, he can only use track as his example.
That's it, and it's always the 100-meter dash.
It's always a 100-meter dash. That would make his questions very easy if it's always a 100-meter dash.
No, because you gotta convert it for us stupid Americans. How many feet is that? Oh, I gotta convert that now to miles?
I don't even want to pretend that I like that, because I hate it. I hate the fact that we don't use a metric system in America.
It's if John Ross can run a sub 4:40.
States, excuse me.
And I can run the 100-meter in. Yeah.
Who's faster?
Man, I was playing D&D. This is, many years ago now, and we were having a conversation about the metric system, and it was brought up. One of the guys who's, I think he's almost 4 years old, 40, excuse me, and I don't know how the conversation took place or how we got to this point, but eventually he gets to the point where he goes, well, they don't use a metric system on International Space Station, do they? And I'm like,
yes.
Everyone's like, yeah, they do, because they use the metric system everywhere else in the world besides the United States. And maybe a couple other random places, but everywhere else uses the metric system. They're not not every other astronaut going up to the International Space Station is going to learn our barbaric way of measurement compared to the metric system. Like, hello, metric system makes so much more sense. You add a 0, take a 0 away. It's not that difficult.
Confusing the audience.
Anyone out there who understands the metric system and realizes what we're talking about here, you know, you know. You know.
Just
I mean, anyone out there who also, it's just,
for the
bad.
record here, Usain Bolt's world record for the 100 meter is 9.58 seconds,
Jesus.
which, if you convert that to yards per second, is 11.4 yards per second on average.
Holy shnikes.
John Ross's 4.2240 is an average of 9.47, or I guess you can round it up, 9.48 yards per second. So Usain Bolt achieved a higher average speed in over twice the distance.
That guy. Oh man, that is impressive.
Usain.
You know what's funny? I think he did the 40-yard dash. I think there's a video of him running a 40-yard dash at the Super Bowl, and I think he ran 4.22.
4.22.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let
me Google
the
it.
Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
He did. 2019. He did a 4.2240.
Dude.
Jeez, that's impressive.
And that's at 32 years old he did that. And these kids are 22 coming out of college for the combine.
Man, I'm just happy at 32 years old that I have a job, okay? Like...
Yeah,
you could have been the fastest man on Earth.
I could have been the fastest man on Earth, but I chose
You
to
could
have
have been the fastest Jamaican on Earth.
I prefer to be on the Jamaican bobsled team, personally.
I would say I would watch Usain Bolt do the bobsled. It's just him.
It's just him.
He's going so fast, he's all four people in the bobsled.
He's just like, he's going back and forth between all the seats so quickly. It's just like there's 4 people in there because he's moving so fast.
Yeah, he's like the Flash.
Yeah, he's like the Flash. Exactly. That's what I was going for.
Oh my god. He just yells at himself, "Feel the rhythm! Get on up! It's bobsled time!"
He's looking down from heaven. Good job, Usain.
Aw, John Candy. May he rest in peace.
Oh, John Candy. Dude. I think it's Fred Willard, right?
Yeah, he passed away.
He just passed away?
80.
That's hella sad.
I think.
Yeah, he's in like his mid-80s.
He was older. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still sad. You know, a lot of good television history behind that gentleman.
Yeah, I actually saw an episode of Community that he was on. And then I was on YouTube, I think 2 days ago, just watching a table read of the episode of the same episode that he was in. And then I saw this and I was like, oh, that's super sad.
Well, Jerry Stiller?
Ben Stiller's
yeah, Ben Stiller's dad, yeah.
He passed away a week or so ago, maybe not even a week.
I don't even think it was that long ago.
Yeah. So that was also very, very sad as well.
Oh no, that's 2.
That's nuts.
Who's the third?
I mean, there might have already been a third. We just don't know about it because, you know, the coronavirus is overshadowing everything.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, Jerry Stiller was what, 92? His 90s?
He was up there. He was up there.
He
was up there. I mean,
yeah.
the man had a good life, or at least a long life.
Yep.
Yeah. And the cool thing is he worked with Ben a whole bunch.
Yeah. He was also
Just
son.
Come on.
fell for it. Damn it.
Got him.
Why?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Why do I always fall for it?
Yep.
It's okay. You're not the only one. The problem with me doing that is I can't do that with new people, or else they're just gonna think I'm an idiot. I have to establish a baseline intelligence before I start pulling that shit on people.
Yeah.
This is why it needs to be done like in the last like 20 minutes of a podcast for it to work.
Segue. No.
Any other time, segue.
92 was his age. 92.
Ben Stiller's 92.
He almost made it to 93.
Okay, I didn't get you that time.
He was a month away from passing from being 93. June 8th. You don't know something? I mean, talking about celebrities who have passed away. Ow. You okay? Was it a spider?
No. Don't remind me. Why'd you remind me? Now I feel I feel stuff on my legs. Oh God.
I was watching a oddly enough, I don't even know how I actually got onto this YouTube video. I guess I just kind of I was on YouTube.
Look, you fall into rabbit holes.
And yeah, it was just actors and actresses who have passed away off of sitcoms that are popular in their day. And you guys remember the show?
Guys, I found the third.
Oh, you found the third.
The third was Little Richard.
Oh.
He died on the 9th. Jerry Stiller died on the 11th, and Fred Willard died on the 15th.
I forgot about Little Richard. I feel bad about forgetting about that one too.
He did the theme song for the Magic School Bus.
Magic School Bus.
Yeah.
Oh wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that until someone had posted it when he died, and I was like, "What? That was Little Richard." Oh, good times.
Mm-hmm.
On the Magic School Bus.
He was
Man.
He was
82?
Muy Tarantino.
I
I have
think.
no idea if that was correct at all. I also did that in an Italian accent, but I spoke Spanish. Muy Tarantino.
Muy Tarantino.
Or was he 88?
Little Richard was 87.
87.
And a half!
My great-grandmother passed away.
In 5/12.
No, I was just gonna say, do you guys remember the show 8 Simple Rules?
Yeah.
Remember the father, how he passed away of a heart surgery issue?
Yeah.
You know, it's been 17 years since he passed away now.
Oh,
17
really?
years. Yeah, John Ritter.
Like John Ritter's been
17 years.
Right.
Dang.
Like, or it'll be 17 years this year, which, oddly enough, is September 11th.
Oof.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
nuts.
it's very very sad, obviously.
Yeah.
For sure.
But
Yeah. Dang.
it was,
Cause, oh man, I think, cause that was the first time, that show was definitely the first time everybody got accustomed to seeing Kaylee Cuoco on television.
Yeah, that was like her. Well, I mean, technically, Big Bang Theory was I think more of a breakout role, but I think 8 Simple Rules really helped her get into the spotlight
Business
to get into the point where she could do Big Bang Theory. At least for the audition, which made her more at least popular enough, because she did child acting too, before 8 Simple Rules. I don't know what any of those roles are, but I know about it.
Yeah, I never watched that.
I didn't either, personally. It wasn't I think it was before not like I didn't think it was gonna be a bad show. Just wasn't my cup of tea. So.
Because when was that running?
I think it's we were in elementary school.
Oh, yeah, no,
we were 2004 or something.
We were definitely old enough. Never mind. It wasn't before my time. I just didn't watch it.
Oh, I was close. 2002 to 2005. Yeah.
We're too busy watching.
It was only
like
3 seasons because
nah,
John Ritter
man.
passed away.
I mean, I guess it was on, but I was thinking more like
year.
Keaton, Kel, Drake, and Josh.
Oh yeah,
dude,
like those are right. Like those would be like the equivalent.
When was Drake
well, the
and
thing
Josh?
too about Ain't Simple Rules is it was
04.
on ABC or something, and it was
Yeah.
like a late night TV show.
Right.
It wasn't,
Yeah, it wasn't
like
a kid's
show
show.
that you would watch. Yeah, you see on Nickelodeon or Disney Channel after you get out of school or something.
Yeah, Drake and Josh started
So-
04, and I went to 07. I missed that. It
Yeah.
was a good show. Well, it was a good show when we were growing up. I have no idea how well it holds up, but
I mean, I think it probably hold up until like now, because I think that's when like the whole tech boom occurred.
yeah, maybe.
So I think it'd still work. Anything made before like 2002 might not. I mean, minus like the Star Treks would probably not hold up now.
No.
He's like, nah.
Being the Trekkie that I am, I know better. I mean, you go back and watch the original series, and Kirk is being handed like this digital notepad to sign, and it's bigger than an iPad is at this point, or bigger than a laptop. It looks, I'm not joking, it looks like an Etch-a-Sketch that he's being handed.
It probably wasn't. I just
Fuck, what do you make of this?
Like, he got like a stylus, and he would write on this thing,
Oh,
Kirk or
stylus.
whoever was using it. And it was, but the stylus wasn't like a stylus you would see like in a smartphone nowadays, where it's that small, short, skinny pencil-looking thing. It was, a typical size, marker, for instance, like a Sharpie or something. It was, the technology of the original Star Trek, and even, I would have to say, the Next Generation, like some of it anyways, more Next Generation, almost everything on on the original series, sorry, just doesn't hold up today, doesn't work, sorry. I mean, like the turbo lifts in the original Star Trek show, they had little handles that you would hold on to and turn them, to like, for safety purposes when you're in this little turbo lift type thing. And for people who don't know Star Trek, turbo lift is like an elevator inside the starship. But instead of going up and down, it goes left, right, etc. In Star Trek Enterprise, which is a prequel series to the original Star Trek, they had turbo lifts, and there were no handles. because they realized how stupid that
I can
looked.
ride my turbo
So-
with no handlebars.
So, because the whole thing with the handles was you grab the handle and you would announce like where you want to go, like engineering or bridge or whatever, and you would turn the handle and it would go that location. And to avoid the handle in the prequel series, they would just like press a button or something and then hold on to like you like a handlebar you would see like in a real elevator in today's age, for like the handicapped or something. So it's just there's the technology of Star Trek, old Star Trek, just like you look back, you go, oh god. I mean, but I will say though, a lot of the technology that you saw in the original series of Star Trek has come to fruition. Like, it's actually happened. It's become a real thing of today's age.
It's kind of cool when like sci-fi stuff
It's true.
becomes reality.
Yeah, like the pad I was mentioning that Kirk was signing, mind you, it's a lot bigger than you would assume based off what we're looking at from today's age. But back in the 60s or mid 60s when that show premiered, it was like, oh, whoa, portable, pad where you can, do stuff on, that kind of stuff. That was science fiction at that point. It was crazy.
Remember Palm Pilots?
I mean, even
Remember people were all like,
Oh,
"Oh yeah, this is gonna
yeah.
be great. Can I have my schedule in my pocket?"
Damn.
no.
And then the smartphone came
totally
out, and
forgot about
everyone's like, "What
those.
the hell's a Palm Pilot?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, the Palm Pilot was
wrong.
like the answer to the pager. And
the weird thing is that we still have pagers.
Yeah.
I still use a pager.
Yeah, it's like, why can't you just have like a instead of a pager, they gave you like the thing that you get at like Olive Garden when you're waiting in line, and it buzzes you when it's ready.
That pretty much is a pager. It just doesn't show a phone number on it.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, is that you just have your phone.
Go.
Why can't you just have like a hospital cell phone type thing?
Well, that's what people. I mean, that's what the hospital, at least I'm working at, does. But my home base, they have to use pagers because they don't have the funding to get that sort of infrastructure in place. Where everybody gets iPhones that are, dedicated and protected and would comply with all HIPAA stuff. So it's for them, it's cheaper to keep their current.
It's cheaper to use something that was invented in the 50s.
Shitty pagers.
Yeah, it's a necessary situation to be in with the hospital doesn't have the funding to.
Because the problem with hospitals
give all its
is
doctors
that
and
like
nurses all those phones.
Money. It's like.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of for-profits are out there right now, so it's rough.
Oh man, I was gonna say something about the pagers. I remember my old man when he was working at a company called Romac. He was in charge of moving. Well, not I should say in charge of moving. He was in charge of making sure that when they left from Seattle and went to Bothell, that nothing of important value was left behind, and kind of in charge of the stripping of the building and making sure if anything was like not making sure nothing was like I said left behind of important value, And I remember him coming home with a pager and thinking it was the coolest thing ever. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. You got a pager. Oh, my goodness. And, it's like, because, he didn't have a pager before, so it made him look more important, of course. So, of course, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. He's like, oh, I wish that thing was a freaking ball and chain. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. The innocence of a child, right? It's like, oh, man, look at this cool thing I can play with. And the parents like, ugh, if only you knew what it was for.
Yep. It's so bad. Yeah,
dude, my pager is the worst thing, man. It's like I wake up at 2 a.m., wake up at 5 a.m., and it's like, hey, can you call this random number? And sometimes they get it wrong, so they page me twice.
Does it wake you up?
Oh, it's the worst, dude.
Because what if it didn't?
Yeah, dude. Because it's like, it'll just keep beeping. So basically, it's like an alarm clock. Where it automatically snoozes if you don't address it.
That's the worst. It won't shut up until you freaking hit it. How do you? Yeah, so
you'll beep, 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 and then it'll go away. Like let's say if you're in the restroom and then you get a page but you didn't see it and then it stopped, then it'll just keep giving you like a beep every I think 5 minutes or so, just to let you know there's like a message that you missed.
Gotcha.
Until you actually look at it, so
annoying.
Yeah.
How do you reach REM sleep, bruh? Like, really, how do you do it? Like,
you don't.
No, you don't.
I mean, you hope you can. Like when you're on nights, I think the thought of getting some sleep is like if you get an hour or two, that's a pretty solid night.
I can't function off of that,
but
I just can't do it.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's pretty rough when you're on surface. But any other time, like when you're on days or whatever, it's like you're kind of full function. You're not working like 14 to 16 hours a day. You're working more like 12. So, it's like a normal half.
Dude,
day's work.
I've been working 12-hour days, and I'm getting 8 hours of sleep a night. Maybe sometimes 7 because I have difficulty falling asleep, or I stay up a little later than I should. But man, excuse me, those 12-hour days wipe me out, and the fact that you have those 12-hour days, mind you, both our jobs are physically demanding at different levels. With me delivering packages It's a lot of walking around, a lot of lifting, a lot of moving, that kind of stuff. I don't, but I don't have the stress level that you do. You may not do as much physical labor. I mean, you do walk around a lot, of course, because you are in a hospital, so there's a lot of walking and going on. But there's also like the stress level that you have as well, having to talk with patients and the patients' families about here are your options, here's what you can do, here's what you shouldn't do, that kind of stuff. And then of course there's also, for you as well, there's the customer service aspect of your job as well, where you have to deal with, how do I put this without being
different personalities.
Yes, different personalities.
That's how I like to put it when I'm at work. Yeah, it's a unique position to be in, because you're kind of like, as both people know, seeing with COVID, like you're at the forefront of a lot of randomness, at least in my job. But at least I'm not overtly taxed physically, so like, you get to work, I work out beforehand, and I'm not like wiped. Mentally, I get like wrecked after.
Yeah, I feel like that's more like mentally draining.
8 to 12 hours of work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's like the introverted component of me that just needs a break from people sometimes and not have to deal with it. But when you're in the room with the kids, it's like, you're dedicating your time and effort to them. You feel like you're doing something worthwhile. So that part excites me.
You're not thinking, oh God, I'm mentally exhausted. Like, you're actually like mentally present in that conversation whenever you're with someone.
Oh yeah, with the kids for sure. When the parents start like, ranting because they're tired waiting like 2 hours because they've, been sitting there, but other emergent, patients came by before them, so they got triaged differently. It's like, I mean, you empathize with them and like, yeah, I get it. It sucks, but at the same time, you're like, well, I'm here now, so let's get down to business so we can get you guys out of here. So you kind of let them do their thing, and then you kind of like, okay, sorry to hear that. Like, you try to do, I mean, you say it like in a more convincing manner, but you try to give them some semblance that you feel for them, and you do, because you're like, dude, if I was in that position, I would be like not the happiest person in the world. Not that I would lash out at anybody, but
I think like it's hard to like get the customer, one of those things. Like in any kind of customer service area, get them to understand like your position while also being like neutral about it. Instead of just being like, look, I had to like help this guy that was about to die. Okay, calm down. Okay, you could have waited.
Well, taking the medical field out of it for this topic, we have all worked at a customer service based
food
vocation.
Isn't that the best?
So yeah. So I mean, I've done food, I've done games. I've done a variety of customer service stuff. So the three of us understand what it's like to be on the opposite side of dealing with people, where we'll go to a restaurant or we'll go shopping or whatever it is, and the person who's checking you out at the check stand, whether it's busy or not, it's always nice to be friendly to that person, because you don't know how their day is going. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what people they've had to deal with. So it's one of those things where I personally try to put my best foot forward for those people, because I know what it's like to be on the other end of that, having to deal with people who are, well, like Danilo said, different personalities. People who are just either rude or don't care, or their time's more important than your time. It's like when someone gets an order wrong in a restaurant. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, it was an accident. I'm not going to sweat it. Thanks for taking care of it. Have a good day.
And I think especially like with food stuff, after like working in food, I'm like, I mean, not that I was like a dick before, but you kind of understand it more, and I feel like I'm really patient with like restaurant workers especially, where they're like, oh, we haven't seen them in 10 minutes. I'm like, yeah, but it's busy. I understand.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I love my grandfather, my mom's dad, but man, every time we go visit him and we go to a restaurant, that man is so impatient.
Yeah.
He does not want to wait for his food to show up. Like, it had been maybe 10 minutes since we ordered our food. He's like, man, where's our food at? And I'm like, dude, like, we ordered it 10 minutes ago. Like,
if it's been like an hour, then you could be like, where's my food?
Yeah.
It's funny because you ordered the well-done steak.
Why? Yeah. First of all, why would you order it well done? And second of all, it's going to take more than 10 minutes to fucking get it there.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where, again, love my grandfather, great person, he's funny,
Shout out
he's
to
nice and everything,
Monday.
but when it comes to going out to, when he's at a restaurant, man, he gets a little impatient, and then you get a little bit of booze in him, oh man,
that's Grandpa
man.
Impatient Monday to you.
Yeah. That's actually Grandpa Bodie, technically speaking.
Impatient
that's my
Grandpa
mom's side of
Bodie.
the family.
Impatient Grandpa Bodie is the worst Grandpa Bodie. I don't know.
And the thing is too, like, he likes to drink like his wine and his sake and all that kind of stuff. He likes to do that kind of stuff. So while we're waiting, of course, for our food, he keeps ordering more wine or more sake, whatever it is. So it's one of those things where it's like, by the time the food
so does
shows
he drink
up
until the Bodie hits the floor?
Oh, that was so bad, Ryan. That was so bad.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
I haven't heard that one before, so I will give you.
Really? That
props
hasn't
on that.
been done before? Jeez.
No. Well, I mean, I didn't grow up with the last name Bodie. I grew up with the last name Monday.
Is that why we call you
got
that?
all sorts of different jokes.
That was stupid.
So,
sorry.
I mean, my uncle
Monday.
he
Damn it.
he let me finish before you interrupted me. He grew up with the last name Bodie, obviously, all his life, so he may have had those jokes. I don't know. But I mean,
I haven't really had jokes about my last name.
It's not. Well, I mean, your last.
I feel
name
like I
exactly...
make more jokes about my last name than anyone.
Yeah.
I
The only joke you can really make is the whole Mo.
Yeah, and that's the one I make. But I think growing up, the only one I got was like mayonnaise from like Doug, like patty mayonnaise, and I was like, that's a stretch,
I know,
but
I get
okay.
it, but it's a huge stretch.
That's a least stretch.
It's a huge stretch.
Sorry, Danilo, did you have one?
I will.
Oh, me? It's like the Banana Boat song.
The what?
The what?
The Banana Boat song?
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
And this is when you would insert that song into the video.
No, for those of you, I'm just gonna have it like subtly play in the background when you say that, and just keep it going until the song ends.
But you played the Bon Marché.
Oh, is that the
commercial
Banana Boat
version?
song? Saturday on
that song.
Bon Marché. Oh, so it's like today.
Yeah, but that's like.
I got it.
Yeah. So what?
I'm glad you made that connection because I was not making the connection at all.
Okay,
because,
I see it now.
Because that happened in football practice.
Dude, that could have been your
walk-up
walk-up
song. Fucking stuck through high school.
D, even though we only had the one class together, technically speaking, in high school, man, like I never heard that at all, not once from anybody.
Oh, because I think it was only practice specific. Like the people who actually knew about it were the guys in football.
That makes sense. And
because
most people weren't in band.
Anywhere else, they just call me D.
Yeah.
So no one really knew about it outside of like the coaches who I think played it once at a practice. And then they would get on the megaphone and they would just yell my name from across the field as I was practicing.
They had to sing it
with the line.
Hey, today.
yeah, because I think it was like snow and
sleet.
God, I forgot who else was doing it.
Uncle Boomer.
I think Boomer was doing it.
Uncle Boomer.
Oh my goodness.
Back. God.
No, we're not doing that. No.
It's Uncle Boomer.
We are.
Uncle Boomer. God damn! Like, dude, that was those are the fucking days, man.
I remember meeting Boomer back when I was in 7th grade, and he was.
I honestly don't know who Boomer is.
He was
like,
history.
Well, he wasn't a teacher technically right? at Cedar Heights when I was going there.
Oh, that's right.
That's
right. He was just like a
TA or like a personal assistant of like an office member or something. Like he wasn't actually a teacher or whatever. He was really good friends with the teacher, Mr. Roth, who was a math teacher who I don't think was teaching at Cedar Heights by the time the two of you went to Cedar Heights.
What's his first name? David? No,
David
Roth.
Boomer? Oh, I don't remember. Oh, no, I don't.
Middle name Lee.
Thank you.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I wasn't making the next until I heard Lee. But no, it was not him. No, it's just again, really good math teacher, really nice guy. But yeah, no, he and Boomer, like I don't know what the age gap there was, but man, they would make fun of each other constantly. Like,
who does that?
There was like
they're friends.
There was no real amicable conversation I ever heard between the two of them. It was always just jab after jab after
Look,
jab.
some
after
relationships
jab.
are like
it.
that.
There was
it's fine.
Some are, yes.
Sometimes
it'd be like that.
It do.
We're running long here on the podcast.
Oh, yeah. I guess we are.
Yeah. Snaps.
117.
So with that being said, I guess we're gonna call it there. Monday, do you have anything you want to plug? Where can we find you if people want to find you?
Like really, I honestly don't have anything.
Awesome, perfect.
Like,
you want to follow Monday? Too bad. So. Try to find his truck route, I guess.
Order 2-day shipping,
baby.
In
the downtown Seattle area.
Order 2-day shipping in the greater Seattle area. Yeah, you might see me. Yeah.
Other than that,
I'm all over
good
the place.
Luck.
I would laugh the first time you see people waving.
They don't even recognize us, but they recognize Monday.
It's basically
based
on his voice alone.
Beta Bros Banter.
That one random guest that one time that was on Beta Bros.
Hey,
I know you.
You'll probably be on here more than once. Let's be honest.
I mean, if I'm being honest, this was great. So thanks for having me.
Man. It's good having you on.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, with that said, you can check out this podcast and all of our other content on our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Super Beta Bros. And then you can check us out on Twitter. That's Beta Bros Studios. And then you can check out our individual channels. I'm on Tito7177. That's TEDO7177. And then you can also check out Ryan's stuff on ZeldaMariners. That's on YouTube and Twitch, etc. So yeah, check us all out. And yeah, thanks for listening, and for all you guys on YouTube, thanks for watching. We don't have a Patreon set up yet, but we'll look to do that if we decide to invest more and more effort into. I
don't even know how we could reward.
But in the meantime,
Patreon. That's the thing. Our benefits would be so bad.
Dude, we just reward them with hanging out with us. We just have them hang out with us.
If this becomes popular enough, maybe we'll make one.
That's the thing.
Yeah. If we get to 1,000 subscribers,
smash that subscribe button.
If we get 10 likes on this video.
Yeah, if you get 10,000 likes on this video
alone.
Not
10,000, just 10 like 10, just 10.
I think that's a good. 10.
Set the bar low. If we get more likes than dislikes on this video.
We get 10 comments. How about that? We get 10 comments.
Oh, don't tempt the bots.
I just log it. every 10 likes will equal more and more weeks of podcast content.
Let me clarify on that. 10 comments from 10 different people.
Like each person, each of the 10 people
10 different IP
comments.
addresses.
Got it.
No.
You heard it here first.
How do we direct traffic? Oh, interaction.
Usually with the street light.
So
Or cop.
that's true. You're not wrong.
I mean,
Do they not direct
a
traffic?
little bit of knowledge there.
You've been to
Yeah, street lights.
No, the cops too. Like after games, they have the street lights out. They're like,
That's true.
You go
They get the
You
flashlight
stop.
cones.
all cross. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All cross.
Yeah, like at
Yeah,
the
after
baseball
games.
games.
They're like, cross all ways. Just go.
It's true.
We're stopping
It's
all
true.
the cars. Get out of here.
And the soccer games and the football games. And all the
Basketball. Triggered.
games. No.
I'm just gonna
not
end the
basketball.
podcast
We
right
don't
there.
have
I'll
that
say
in
not
Seattle.
basketball and then zip done. Hashtag
Saber Sonics.
Hashtag, it was like 15 years ago.
You know what? It still hurts.
I know.
Okay.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I really never.
Ryan doesn't even watch basketball.
That's
and it
why I
hurts.
don't watch
That's how bad
basketball,
that is.
because of that.
No, it's not.
Yeah, Sam. I haven't seen an NBA game
You know,
since
they said it best
like the
in
early
movie,
aughts.
Ted. Fuck you, Thunder.
Fuck you, Thunder.
If you're from Oklahoma, fuck you.
If you're an Oklahoma City fan, even though you had nothing to do with the Sonics leaving, fuck you.
You voted for those people.
Well, Oakland knows how we feel. They lost their football team, so.
Oh yeah, I feel for Oakland. Those guys won a championship too. And like with John Madden, like yeah, like one of those
Like
iconic
50
people in
years ago. It
football.
doesn't count. No, it does count, but I mean, they made this. They did make it
That's
to the
nuts.
Super Bowl though.
Yeah, with the against the
It's the
Bucks.
The Bucks trounced
It's like
them.
it's like 2000.
Yeah, it was
something like
early
that.
2000s, somewhere around there. I forget when.
I think like Rich Gannon was like quarterback.
Jerry Rice was playing for Oakland at that time too, before he retired.
Oh, I forgot about Jerry Rice. on
Okay,
that team.
bye.
Dang.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye, internet.